NA, go away. Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States at our offices in San Diego, California, and St. Louis, Missouri. Our team member Daniel noticed the other day that I have started saying San Diego first before St. Louis. That just reflects my desire to eventually end up in San Diego, and I hope that none of you are confused, but we do now have two offices, one in St. Louis and one in San Diego. Jim, what in the hell are you talking about when you talk about NA, go away? So, for those of you who don't follow all the ins and outs of everything that happens in immigration, one of the things that the Trump team did to make life harder for immigrants, especially those immigrants seeking asylum or humanitarian relief like U visas or V visas, was that if your application was sent to USCIS and if you left a blank spot on your application and you didn't write in or type in NA means not applicable, not applicable. This question does not apply to me. It is not applicable to my situation. That's what applicable means. Applicable is a form of applied. And so we were spending, and a lot of our clients were spending, and people we know about were spending a lot of time filling in every box, not applicable, even if it didn't apply, even if that question had no relevance to your application or your situation. If you didn't type in NA or write in NA, then your case was going to be rejected, and they were sending them back rejected. Now, of course, in the asylum context, this is on purpose, because if you don't get your application in within 1 year, then they can deny it outright. And so if you applied close to the deadline and you didn't put NA, then they could send the whole packet back, and then when you refile it, it's untimely. And that's just the evil kind of shit that these guys were thinking up. So NA was scaring people and freaking people out. Now, my wife and I were talking about this the other day, and we're all members of the American Immigration Lawyers Association. That's called AILA. And AILA had warned that this BS rule had seeped into other kinds of cases, that they were starting to see green card cases and naturalization cases denied because people didn't put NA. So, for example, on your naturalization application, there's a question about whether or not your mother or your father became a U.S. citizen, and if so, did they do that before you turned 18? Now, historically, you would just leave that blank and go on to the next question, which is exactly what the instructions tell you to do. But these clowns at USCIS were sending applications back saying, "Oh, you didn't mark NA for this, so your application is going to be rejected." Now, the good news is that smarter people are now in charge of immigration, less evil people are now in charge of immigration, and of course, they're not doing everything that we're hoping for, and they're acting pretty slowly in taking care of lots of things. But one of the smart things that they've done so far is they've thrown out the NA rule. They've thrown out the not applicable rule. So now you just answer the questions as best you can. You fill out the forms as best you can. That's not to say you don't want to do it as well as you can and as perfectly as you can. And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't hire an immigration lawyer. But what it does mean is that your applications are going to be looked at a little bit more graciously, a little bit more beneficially, and a little bit more towards keeping the case moving, as opposed to just sending it back for stupid reasons. So we're glad to see those clowns from USCIS leaving the agency slowly. We hope that a sense of normalcy returns, and we think that this rejection of the NA rule, the NA rejection rule, is a good step in the right direction. So hopefully, if you're working on your forms, you're going to submit your forms as best you can. Now you know about the NA rule. You don't need to be as concerned about it as you were before. But if you have questions about your forms, now we don't help people fill out their forms unless they hire us, but if you have questions about the overall process or thinking about hiring us, feel free to give us a call at 314-961-8200. You can email us at info@hackinglawpractice.com. You know we've got that Facebook group. It's called Immigrant Home. We'd love to see you in there. We're answering questions and chatting about immigration issues of the day. Also, we have our YouTube channel where we have hundreds and hundreds of videos. We'd love to have you subscribe to that and share it out with your friends. Finally, on most Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Central Time, you'll find me in our Facebook group, in our YouTube channel, answering as many of your immigration-related questions as we can. We had over 250 people join us during our last call. We'd love to have you in there, and it's your chance to ask me a question for free. Thanks a lot, and have a great day.